Okay, so you know it's summertime and I haven't made a photography video in a little bit here. Summertime's very difficult. You know, the light isn't great, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. We get straight up clear skies during the summer. We don't get many clouds, which ironic for Seattle area. It's not so good for photography. Sunrise is super early, sunset is super late, and you just don't really get that much of a cloud dynamic, so it's not really that great. So I'm thinking about some kind of an abstract thing here for this shoot, and end result, some kind of a triptych is what I have in my mind. That's what I'm going to attempt to do. So I think I'm going to be using a 70-200 lens. I've got a vantage point up here on this rock, which is pretty good, so I can look down. Yeah, I'm going to see what kind of a look I can get. So I'm going to do a bit of that, and we'll come back and talk more. So I'm getting all set up here, and error number one I've discovered, brilliant. You know, I've been doing a lot of handheld shooting recently, and I have removed my tripod mount from my camera, and it is in fact at home right now in my office. So I don't have some critical error, because I would be using the tripod here in this case for sure, but because this is going to be slow shutter speed, so I could go home and get it. I'm not actually too far from home, but I don't think I'm going to do that, because one thing I think I can pull off here is what I'm looking is very abstract. This river has this fast running motion, water motion, and there's a lot of rocks. And actually my biggest concern here is there's too many rocks. I was hoping to get no rocks because I want a very abstract, flowing looking photograph. And so it's not so important that I'm locked onto a tripod here, because you know, if there's some blurriness, that's what I'm going for anyway, because I'm going for an absolute abstract motion, nature motion kind of a photograph here. But I have my 70-200 great image stabilization with this. And so I think maybe I can pull this off handheld. I've already taken a few shots with this, and I think this may be fine. So I'm going to try it. Okay, so I've been sitting here taking a lot of shots. Not having to use the tripod for every shot has allowed me to go really fast, which is kind of nice. And one thing I'm getting that I was hoping for, and that I find works good in these types of situations, is a little bit of mixed sunlight in a river like this. And I think you can see some spots back there where we have a little bright sunlight. What happens is when you do this time exposure, this slow shutter speed, you get this really, really rich color back there from that. And that's kind of what I was looking for. Now I was thinking about only, you know, like having no rocks at all in these shots, just the water, just the motion. And you know, but the river's a little low, being late in summer the way it is right now. So I'm having a little bit of a struggle with that, because what you've got to find is this little bit of foam that you get in the rapids here. That's what you want. You need that, because without that, you've got no like structure in the photograph. So that's what I'm looking at, is those areas where I'm getting that foam motion. So I like what I've seen here, and I've been doing it handheld, and actually I have been using the tripod. I've just been resting the camera on it and holding it with my hand very steady, and using a 2-second timer so that I can press the shutter and wait the 2 seconds and be as still as possible. I'm not sure it matters that much for what I'm going for, but I sure wish I'd brought the tripod mount. Bummer. Okay, you can kind of see here I'm using my tripod to steady my shot, and I'm looking for some kind of a composition here. And I just fire the shutter and hold as still as I can and see what I get. So I think this is the only thing I can do. So I'm looking at different parts of the river and just looking for the abstract shapes that I get with this flowing water. Yeah, see what I get. So it's working, I think. So yeah. So I'm just trying lots of different angles and little sections of the river here. See what I can get. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. So, okay, yeah, just a few of the technical details of what I'm doing on these shots. Shutter speed's the most important thing in these kinds of shots. You always want less than a second, or at least usually. I find that when I get up, you know, up toward 1 second, the water just tends to look too milky. Sorry about the noise. I'm pretty close to a road here this river's on, but so sorry about that. But yeah, so I tend to like, half second or less actually, a quarter second, third of a second, something like that, maybe even as low as a fifth of a second, depends on how far you're zoomed in. The other thing, always, I'm using a circular polarizer on these types of shots. It really allows you to get the color to pop, and it's good. And it also helps to slow down the shutter speed. Aperture-wise, usually f8, f11, maybe f16. It just depends, whatever I need to adjust the shutter speed to what I want. And usually I can get a good look with those. I'm really bummed out I didn't bring my tripod mount, but I think I'm making it work from what I can see here. But there's been a few really, really colorful shots over here that I've had with some rocks in it that would have been nice if I could have really locked it down. But I'll see how those are turning out when I get those home on the computer. Okay, so yeah, one other comment I would make about the triptych idea that I'm talking about here. It could be that I take one photograph that I really like and I actually just crop that into 3, and that's the triptych. I'll have to see about that. That's one option. I could take one horizontal shot and cut and do a square crop in the middle for the middle of the triptych, and then 2 verticals on the ends, all from one shot maybe. I'm taking a lot of horizontals and a lot of verticals because it may be that it's 3 verticals. It may be 3 horizontals that I stack. I don't know. I'm making up things for my own triptych ideas here. I'll have to see. But so I'm doing lots of variations, lots of verticals, lots of horizontals, and I'm going to see what really works here. Maybe crops, maybe not crops, but I'm going to work with that when I get home. So that's my idea here for these abstract triptychs. So looking forward to seeing the results. So yeah, it should be fun.
Okay, so this is the first triptych I put together from the photographs I took that morning at the river. And as you can see here, this is actually made up of 3 full vertical frames that aren't necessarily connected. They were close together in the river and I took them in succession. Yeah, they aren't connected, and that's fine. But this is exactly what I was going for, this random nature abstract that we're given that is just so beautiful. Every frame that you take just looks different, that no 2 look the same. And I love that about it. And then the other thing I would say too is, the way when you get a little bit of sunlight mixed in, which you can see here in these frames, oh my God, it just gives you this mix of color temperature really is what it's doing. You get these real warm spots and you can kind of see the rocks underneath the flowing water. But you get that beautiful warmth. And then in the areas that are still a little bit in the shade, you get a coolness, you get a little bit of a bluish tone. To me, I love it. I just love these contrasts of tones and just the motion. Yeah, this is exactly what I had in my mind. This is fantastic. I think this is just beautiful and amazing what nature gives us here. Okay, so here is my second triptych from that morning. So this is one that, you saw me take the photograph when I was filming there. And here's one that is just one frame, and I actually just cropped it into 3 separate parts, which is kind of a classic triptych that you probably maybe have seen a lot. And I like it. And actually this photograph I like a lot. And I'm really happy doing this handheld actually worked. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it did work fine. But this is another one that's just beautiful. I've got a little mix of sunlight again. This one is overall kind of a warmer picture than the previous one, but absolutely beautiful, I think. And once again, we've got this, this random flow that nature has provided here, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I can stare at these types of photographs for a long time. I really love it. So yeah, happy with this.
Back at this same river that I was filming at a couple days ago, and that day I took a lot of photographs as I went over, and I recorded some video, and took those home. I really liked the results. The results looked great, I think my mistake where I didn't bring my tripod mount actually ended up being okay, and the photographs were fine. I'm back here today in this same spot, and I'm going to shoot some more shots because I found a few things about the light conditions that morning. When it was pretty shady down here, things didn't turn out that great. As the sun came in a little bit later in the morning, that's when I found the best conditions and the best shots. And so I've come down again today, and I'm gonna try some different things, but in the same location, and see if I can get anything better based on what I learned from that first day. So yeah, I'm gonna see. I'm probably gonna get back up on my rock, as you can see back behind here. I got my tripod up there, but yeah, I'll hop back up there. I think that's a good vantage point. Yeah, let's see what I can do here. So let's see how this turns out. So I have to say, I am getting some really nice color in the water there. There's this one rock out there in the river, which I'm gonna see if I can point to here. Right there. It's got some beautiful color on it, and it's getting a little bit of sunlight. And so I am taking some photographs of that here, and from my vantage point, it looks pretty good. So yeah, I think it's a time exposure, you know, that's kind of a nice photograph. So I'm gonna play around with that a little bit. I'm starting to get a little bit of sunlight in there, which gives you some added saturation, you know, just nice color pop. So yeah, so I don't know if you can see this here, but yeah, this photograph of that rock and the stream, that looks pretty nice. You can see what I'm getting on the camera there. Okay, I'm really happy I have come back today, because I really am getting a beautiful mix of color there in the river. I think you can see what I've shot on my camera here, but yeah, this is exactly what I was hoping for, is yeah, just some nice light in these colorful rocks, and it's given me some great results. And I'll see how these look in post-processing, but I think they're gonna be pretty good. Already what I'm seeing on the camera here just looks fantastic. So, oh, very cool. That's what I'm looking for, is that sort of thing down there that you can see. Yeah, very nice. Well, I'm about to wrap this up here. I'm so happy that I came back, though, because I've gotten great lighting conditions, and I've really gotten a lot of what I was envisioning. And yeah, it's fun. You know, I've just spent a few hours doing this, and I just love it. It's really fun. So it's a good thing to do in summer. Yeah, you get some pretty interesting creative options for yourself. Yeah, so going out and trying things like this, you know, it doesn't have to be a river. It can be whatever you've got where you live, you know. Yeah, whatever your kind of abstract subject matter may be. That might be a fun thing to try, what I'm doing here. So anyway, yeah, hopefully this all turns out the way I think it will, and I'll see about that. Yeah, the next part of the job is to take it home and see how the post-processing goes, and see what I can yeah, put together and create.
Okay, the name of my video series is One Good Photograph. For this one, here's my one good photograph for sure. I really love this so much. It's just beautiful. I'm mesmerized by it, actually. You know, when you look through the viewfinder, this is not what you see. You know, you see something like this. You see the main structure, but you just don't know until, you know, you let the, in this case, a quarter of a second go by, and you get to see the result. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. I love this. This is so nice. There's a couple interesting things here. Just the flow and the composition that is the end result of all this just looks great to me. The other thing too is, you know, I have this leaf here in the middle left, and I'm still a little bit amazed as to how it's hanging on to that rock, because it's partially underwater and the water was moving pretty fast, but it's adhering to that rock, and yeah, it's just interesting that it's there. But yeah, I love it so much. This, you know, this, as I talked a lot about the mix of color and light, the result is just so fantastic. Yeah, I love it. So good. Okay, so here I have a triptych from that second day at the river. And this is actually, you know, it's a variation of that previous shot. As you can see, you know, you can identify it with the, in the left frame, you can see that leaf that I was talking about is now toward the top of the frame. So I have a little bit of a different composition here, which I also liked. Yeah, this is, you know, this is classic triptych, and this is what I was going for. And in this case, since I had my tripod actually in a useful state on that second day, I was able to take a lot of these pictures of the rocks. So I was able to get a really sharp result. Yeah, I really like this. And just this, the light that I was getting while I was there on that second day just allowed me to get this look. And it's just really, really nice. I really like it. I worry sometimes that I say a little bit too much, too many positives on my photograph here, but it's not really my photography skills. It's just, I'm shocked by what, nature just shows us. It just puts it right in front of us here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing and wonderful, I think. So anyway, I love this, and I am interested in knowing if you have any comments or thoughts about this. But yeah, definitely fun project. As always, I really appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I will be making more videos that are somewhat similar, and would really love it if you follow along. Thank you so much.